my goodness. Now this is why I don't recommend peel and seal, YouTubulous. Look at that. You wouldn't have suspected that underneath the headliner. This stuff isn't even, look at that, it's like paper. You know, I once made a video about peel and seal if you absolutely have to, but clearly it's just not holding up to the temperatures here in the summer. So we're gonna have to remove all of this, every single bit of it. But it's gonna be one hell of a project. I hate removing this crap. It'll just give us an excuse to get that second skin deadener in there, you know what I'm saying? Alright, and there's the headliner. We're definitely not gonna be using this. We'll do some sort of birchwood roof, extra strong. This stuff's just kind of a joke. Alright, here we are, YouTubulous, finally back at ya. Freaking 5 days later. The weather is finally cooperating with us. Damn, it was like 0 degrees and then it rained for just like 4 days straight. But we're finally coming back at you with some quick little updates here. We brought down here and sanded down all the things that freaking impaled my kneecap when I was kneeling down here, just so we can get the box nice and flush to the bottom of the floor. I'll focus in a little more. We just brought down the screws that were sticking up there, and also filled up some of the voids up here in the rear deck. You remember those videos I was making? It made a heck of a lot of noise up here. Just the wires bouncing off the deck and all this stuff bouncing because there was a lot of free space in there. So I filled up all the space and also made up for the space behind the connection. So if it ever, you know, vibrates, it's not gonna like whiplash with the hard plastic against the metal, because that makes like a really loud sound and I hate it. And also, we had filled up this with a little polyfill. It was a little bit of, it was kind of overkill, but that's just to help with any of the higher pitched noise coming in, like raindrops and shit like that. I want it to sound really nice, so we're gonna be sealing up back here pretty damn well, which is actually on the menu for today. We got the 2x right here. We're gonna be lacing them right across here for the back of our box. But getting into the stuff that we've already done, I had to fix the brake light because it's gonna be never accessed again. So I had to make sure that, you know, if a light bulb ever goes out, there's a fail-safe. So I put in a little extra strip of, if you can see it, there's an LED strip in there. Let me try to get a better view. There's a strip of LEDs that I soldered in, and I can actually, if one of these lights ever goes out from the base or anything, I can come right back here and flip this switch. I still gotta trim it up a little bit. I just flip this switch and then I have a brand new brake light. You know, because what are the chances, you know, that those lights are never gonna fail? I mean, even though the incandescents are pretty much good for a lifetime, I just wanted to make sure I had a little fail-safe. God damn it, god dang, focus. Man, this damn camera sucks so bad. I'm using the S5. But back to like what I was saying here, we're gonna be using these 2x4s going this way to really, to brace up what's going on here. And I'm gonna actually cut a little groove in it so it can fit right in there. If you can see that, it's gonna fit right in between these pieces. So I'm just literally gonna create a little groove for that to fit in, and it should go in pretty smoothly. That way I can have a little bit of distance between the edge of this right here and the edge of my box. I'll try to give you a better idea of what I'm talking about here. I'll just kind of slide this into place temporarily. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cut right down the center of this piece of wood so it can fit on the inside. So this piece can be in here. So half of it will be on that side and half will be on this side. All right, well, here we are back again. A long, frustrating process trying to figure out what the hell the first step was gonna be. So this is what I pretty much figured out. I'm gonna do the floor instead and then build up from there. And I've got this pretty much all worked out now. It was a freaking pain in the butt, I'm telling you, but this is basically what I did. I'm gonna try to break it down, even though it may sound a little bit confusing. To get this little contour right here, this little hump, I'm going around that hump. All I did was measure this, the difference between this side and this side, because it's all one piece of wood, and then just pretty much just arced it with my hand, all hand done. And it really caused a lot of frustration, probably more than it should have, but now that I'm here, it'll probably go a lot faster now that I got these little marks done. And that'll be the basis for the floor, and we can just build up around it. So it'll be a nice little template to get us going. Pretty much the first step is the hardest, but I'm glad that we're fucking there now. The idea worked and I got it in there. Everything's all fitting. But now that I'm looking at things and just thinking about it a little more, I may switch directions and change up the design a little bit. I may not do this right here, so I need to think about things. But it's, you know, but either way, I can still use this 2x4 for many other things in the project, so it's not like these cuts were wasted. But I need to sit back a little bit and think about what's going on, if this is exactly where I want to have the back piece resting, just this little tiny distance out from right there. So let me do a little bit of deliberation here. All right, well, there she is, changing gears finally, working out some progress here. And she's looking good over there, tapered into the wheel well. There's gonna be a whole nother layer on top of this, so it's relatively rough at the minute. Well, obviously it's rough, but here's what we're doing next. We're gonna build up the back right now. Now that we have an idea of what we're gonna join up to, it's gonna be a tiny little angle between the two of them to make it flush between this deck and the bottom deck. But what I was just about to say is, before we get going on fastening the floor to the vehicle, that's gonna be the last step today. We wanna get this stuff done, because this is gonna take a lot longer to dry. I wanna let it sit all night, because I can't fasten directly to the vehicle on the front. Only on the back side will there be direct bolts going into the vehicle because of the gas tank. So between here and here, there cannot be any fastening but the PL, which is really strong in itself. We're using the 8X stuff and the 3X in different areas, but that's gonna be the order of business today. This is gonna go last, even though I want it to go first. It's gonna take too long of idle activity for drying, so we're gonna plug this away. So it'll just be the most logical sense for ordering today. So let's get it down. I'm gonna pass the camera off to my dad right here, and I'll show you what we're talking about. We got these 2x4s. Originally, we were gonna do the slit idea, but to make it a little more beefy going into the deck, I'll show you what we're gonna do. This is what's gonna happen. We're gonna just stack them in right here against this lip that's pretty much already made for us, and then follow it along with the rest of the pieces. And to make it extra straight, we're gonna fasten a little brace on the back on the outside of the vehicle, and then put it on the inside and just go boom, boom, boom. Tack it in just like Legos. And then eventually this will meet up with the second piece on a small little 45 right in the back. And I think that'll be the simplest and the most volume. I mean, like the best option for the simplicity and the most volume. I hope I'm making sense here, but that's what's going on, YouTubius.
Good deal.
All right, so let's get these guys going.